to build his kingdom. We can't do that. Dwayne believes too much in this Hebrew stuff. You can't even have a simple conversation with him. Because everything is going to be, he's going to direct you to the Most High and his word. The fact that they are the chosen people. They are the people of the book. He's going to tell you you shouldn't be listening to nobody else but us as it relates to the word. And if you don't agree, keep it moving. Just for all who know. We ain't guessing. We ain't asking you no questions. We know who we are. Now, I want to touch on this peace and blessings up in here. All who are here now and who come later. I pray this word adds to you because it surely added to me. And I want to share what's been added. So, Yahuwah can get the glory. Here's a subject that I hear a lot of men and women who proclaim their divine calling in the kingdom of heaven. I hear a subject that they just will not search the scriptures to expound on. They immediately, when you mention it, oh no, woo, that's blasphemy, woo. Okay, I get it. Show me in scripture that what I'm seeking to understand, and as I'm learning according to the scripture was written and what was spoken about, which the word, we're going to keep it on, we're going to give it let's keep it in context. First of all, let's understand. We're going Genesis 1. It's a description. First of all, I'm going to say Psalms 82. I'm going to show you that it does apply to these Hebrew people. The famous two verses, verse 7 and verse 6, that nobody really ever expounds on. And when they speak about it, they go in on you and basically about done stuck a pitchfork in you and told you without really having understanding. Yeah, you could quote scriptures from when the Messiah was speaking about, and in this context, and keeping in context, non-Israelites, people who are not of the descendants of the Shemite people. That's who the word was given to. So when he had the conversation with, and obviously it was with those people, which were the Judeans. Jacob's descendants were in the southern kingdom. Now, some of which made up of the southern kingdom tribes, a majority. Some of them did go with the northern tribes under King Jeroboam when the Most High made Jeroboam an Ephraimite. That was in Egypt because of, you got to go and get the backdrop, read the story. King Solomon, King Solomon respected him because of his wisdom and his fear for them and love for the Most High and how he moved. He strived to be an upright man. And King David used him, like I said, to take care of a lot of business in the kingdom of Israel. But there was some friction. Later on in the picture, there was some friction, and he ran to Egypt. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. I have to go and clean that tub out. So anyway, back to the story. The backdrop. King Jeroboam. This context for you. You ain't gonna get this. Pay attention because the church ain't gonna break it down like this. The church gonna tell us everything that the Most High established with His people, His first fruits. Like He just all of them just turned out to be a bad crop, and He just did away with them. Like their offspring, He just gonna do away with them and won't give them the chance to walk into the that He gave their ancestors. And every word that says when He regathered them, He's gonna make it better than what it was when He gave it to their ancestors. People kill me with that. That's why you will hear me say I don't like to talk about nobody, but that's why you'll hear me talking about a lot of so-called Bible teachers. Yeah, they have a zeal for the Most High. Yes, they have a love, and they pray that they're doing His will in spirit and according to truth. But that's just not. I get it. A lot of people don't understand. That's a hard teaching for me. I get it, but not for the sons of Jacob. We understand because that's who He showed His word to. Jacob. Jacob are who? The descendants of Shem. Remember Noah in Genesis 9, verse 24. Noah let us know then. Bless the Lord God of Shem, which is who? The God of Israel. He had always been. There had always been judges. There were judges during Noah's dad's time, Methuselah. You know, these were the chosen. That's why Noah was recognized because of his obedience to who? The God of Israel. So law had always been there. His word is law. Because why? He's the king. And whatever He says establishes the culture of the kingdom forever. And the scriptures can't be broken. Now back to this conversation. Ye are gods, children of the Most High. But now I kind of understand those who are in office of being teachers when somebody run up and be like, man, we gods, bro. Because our skin color, we black, we gods. Like, okay, the Most High is. It's His description. Daniel chapter 7, verse 9. Read it. It talks about a black, woolly haired Most High and the Ancient of Days, His Son, which we know the incarnation of the Most High is the Messiah. He is the Word of the Father coming in flesh, and he's all power and authority in heaven and earth is given to Him because He is the Father, and He's the one having this conversation with our forefathers, those who are awakened. Know you are Hebrew Israelites. You have descendants. These are the people that were in the southern kingdom. Jeroboam. I didn't forget about King Jeroboam. But King Jeroboam, like I said, he was an Ephraimite from the tribes of Ephraim. The Most High used him when He told Solomon he would split the kingdom because of Solomon's idolatry. Yeah. So, but He didn't do it until Solomon's son Rehoboam came into play, which He told him. Read 1 Kings chapter 9, 10, and 11. He's going to talk about the split between Rehoboam and Jeroboam. Jeroboam was an Israelite from the tribes of Ephraim. Story in a while in 1 Kings, but the truth. Now back to the Messiah as it relates to ye are gods. Psalms 83. 82. I'm not just gonna say something out my mouth because I'm not the creator. But he's given us a measure that we may understand, come to know him, right? It's all written for you to know. And he's given us a measure because what? He's in us all. In the beginning, Genesis 1, verse 26, he said, come, let us make man in our image. I allow the scripture to speak because the us is who? Father come in the flesh, which he is the Father, and you have his spirit. 1 John chapter 5, verse 7. So we can't overlook the fact that you have the Father. In Genesis 1, when he said, come, let us make man. But there was a certain man in our image and after our likeness, and let them have dominion. We've always heard about men of old, renowned, powerful men of old. Guess what? That's them people. That's them people he chose. That bloodline was a powerful people. You got to do the research, family. Y'all don't do the research. You got to read the books of the Apocrypha. You can look at us today, which we are the descendants of the 12 tribes of Israel in real life, right? And look at the power that we possess, how the nations live off of us. We are the descendants of those people Christ told them in John chapter. His word to these people. These people are the people where Christ came forth out of, the tribe of Judah, right? And Christ is reiterating what's written in their book of instruction. Is it written in your law, book of the law, where I said, ye are gods and children of the Most High. That's why they don't like us. You don't need no money. You got a natural power, family, and a affinity connection to the Most High natural. You more so recognize it in you than any other group because they don't feed off the Most High. They drop bombs. They use police forces. They use all type of warfare and tactics to decimate a people. We've been seeing it since the beginning of we know it's alive, but it has to be planted, right? It has to be planted. You're the seed that he planted as a vessel to use as a vessel for himself. So that means we know from Genesis 1, the foundation is the Father created this being, these us. He created us in his image and after his likeness. So therefore, I don't think it's blasphemy when brothers truly know the word and they serving the Most High. They know their relationship. If they can explain it, and can you heal? Yeah, you can. You got herbs. I just shared a video that teaches you through the herbs, the fruits, and the vegetables. Genesis 1, verse 20, starting from verse 26. All the things, the ecosystem of food, plants, animals, and cattle, right? Plants, birds, and cattle. Fruits, herbs, and vegetables. Family. You don't need the animal to get the protein. I just did a video showing you through the fruits. Remember, with seeds that grow within itself, that's biblical. The Most High gave you that. So let's keep it in context, so we can glean from this the truth of His word, and open us, get this understanding, so we can move in power. They'll tell you when you say that, oh, you ain't got no power. Oh, yes, you do. If you follow the instruction of the instructor, the creator, the manual, the blueprint, the book of the law that He gave you, you will learn to understand some things that you probably think you can't do. But if you understand that His book, you don't have to interpret it. You have to do what it tells you, but with a certain mindset. You have a certain spirit on you. Can't know anybody just do it. But you gotta understand, even the criminal has faith. So it's yes, faith is most important, but it's something stronger. You got to know that you know what you know that you know. And you can't waver, because people gonna doubt you. Because why? They haven't come to that level of understanding. Some of them are, yeah, they probably levitating on the fourth dimension in respects to things of the spirit. But you done probably went higher, way higher. When I hear people say that, then I look for, okay, let me zoom in on them. Where where's your foundation? That how can you qualify that? And are you one of those people whom, or the descendants whom Christ was talking about? Because think about it, let's just face it, everybody not like us. We are particularly a set apart people, nation of groups of people, nation with family groups that's different from everybody family. We are the Neo of the world. Now they not gonna like that. They don't want to hear that. Even some of our own people do. Oh no, see they go. There go that Hebrew stuff. No, because spiritually, let's say let everybody lean on the European groups. How far that's going? Okay, is that a good viable tool that we can apply? That's gonna bring humanity further from where it's at. Let's look at the history. Let's examine the history of the European contributions to mankind. You examine it for yourself. You know. Now, and what still standing that we can use to qualify. We want to qualify this thing. Now, as for the so-called Negro, African Negro, that's a misnomer, but to describe where he came from, so you won't lose people. People tend to think you know so much, or you think you know something more than them, when it's just basic knowledge yourself. It's not no real deep. It's our history is deep rooted. Period. It stretches millennia. You dig? We are gods to them. You are everything they got. They feed off of you. So you can't look at it in a sense where you, okay, I'm greater than the Most High. You crazy? No, these are His words. Now you have to understand. If you're them people, it does apply to you. Allow the word to qualify, but understand it does apply to us even today. Them people are special people, and the power from the kingdom won't leave the tribe of Judah. Genesis 49. That ain't no power regular man got. And if you awaken, truly awaken, you know it ain't based on materials. It's our knowledge of understanding the things of the eternal and actually living in it. Can you heal? Yeah. You know how to get a hold to information on the herbs. You know how to influence people to exercise on a regular, change your diet, add those things that bring forth life. Yes, you can help. You can. You. I'm not saying you could touch them and they heal. No, it's a process. Ye are God's children, and He gave you a measure of wisdom where your ancestors been doing it. Now all of a sudden, because we only come so far in our level of understanding, and certain things we're not gonna touch because, like I said, It's written right there in the Bible. Psalms 82, Psalms 83. It talks about he judges them on the council of gods. Them his people. Them ain't no angels. Them ain't no devils. Them his people. Who else? The man he created. That spiritual essence he created before he blew the breath into man and when he formed them from the dust. By that time, man had, did man? No, he had just created them in the spirit like him. Then he formed a place for him. Before he created him, he had formed a place to put him. And that place that he put him was the garden. And that garden had to be equivalent to a place that man could live in security and thrive. It's not a holding cell. You can thrive. You have ailments, you can actually grow the herb and roots that you would need, planting seeds. But if you do, I just heard a segment yesterday. They were talking about how they arrested a person, I believe that was in Nevada, that collected their own water through their own filtration system, rainwater, processed it, and they're using it wisely, as the Most High told you. But because America don't, let me tell you something. America, you can utilize its systems, but you got to understand the foundation of it. It is not connected to the kingdom of heaven or keeping in line with the instructions that the Most High gave you to live fruitful and prosperous as he declared for you in Genesis 1. That's why you don't understand to what level of authority you have at your fingertips. That's why you're not striving to move like that, because we'll read, even though, and we mark ourselves. Think about it, we'll read the book. Now, I'm not toot my horn, but I'm glad they never gave me that opportunity. I'm glad. I had to get it out the mud. You hear a lot of people talking about, oh, I got it out the mud, bullshit. You ain't got a job. I mean, literally got it out the mud. Out there and convince people with something that was to offer something that's they know that's enough. You know what I say? And they will come and do business with you because of what you offer, the solutions that you're capable of producing in your field. Family, I never, and I can say that, yeah, I did have a job before, but you're not gonna hear about me going to look for nobody's job. That was at a time where you going through life and living, and you have to produce as a man. I don't give a shit what's going on. I'm quite sure if I had things in order a long time ago before I decided to come in on some black power shit and recognize there was black people that established and perfected the debt system. You get what I'm saying? The King Solomon, Jacob, well, we the Hebrews, so that means Joseph was one of us, a Negro. That's who established the debt system in Egypt and Africa, throughout all Africa. Think about it. So me running from the banking system, that was stupid. That means you need to, I had to go and sit down and read the money system, understanding money, period. You think you understand it, but let me tell you something. It ain't about money. They ain't got no bunch of money. You got a bunch of zeros. You got a marker on a computer. You know, if you got physically you have $1 million, hey, you doing good. But a lot of people don't get it. And those are basically projections based on the outcome of what their assets will produce. It's a system, but you have to manage it. And it's not just like that, though. You know, just get the asset. Yeah, you can get the assets and put them up. You did, and manage them for some time. Don't just be so quick to want to go and go pull it from it now. No, set it up. Make sure the assets you getting are they good quality assets. You know that's gonna produce. You want whatever you doing. That's like if you was going out there selling weed. You want that weed to sell. You ain't trying to put no. You purchased it so you could double up. You ain't. That's the purpose of it. Anything else is uncivilized. You make your money off of it, and you make the money back in case you want to go do it again. That's the truth. I ain't saying go sell no motherfucking weed, but that's how it works. You buying it to double up. You ain't just buying the shit that you know. That's the purpose. No matter what you do, you want to double up. But you got your product to be right. You gotta have good product to be one to honor. You know, for a while people might have got away with that shit. Running any type product. You know, today anybody can get a hold of it. That's like I explained to some of the youngest I know. You know how y'all get down with the name, talking about how much y'all spend on it. That's cool. And I'm saying this. You can skip the name because I can get that same type cotton or whatever material you got or better. And don't have to spend half of what they spend on, what they spending on. Because I'm gonna sit down and do the research. Follow the register note. We're gonna see what planet was made and what type of cotton they use. We wanna see, we wanna know. So we can go in. You did? That's how I was taught to do business. Go and sit down with the that's what was that movie? But I hadn't seen that was way shit, that was in the 80s when I was really out there in the field. I'm 54. Frank Lucas, American Gangster. He went and sat down with the supply overseas. What you supposed to do? Cut your ass out. You putting a tag on it. Hell no. Go see the supplier. You know you out there, you putting your life on the line. Shit. That was the move. And a lot of people don't like that. Hell no. But that's the only yeah, I was in line in the group. You did and in line for what was going on, but at the same time, you know how it is. You got your own ambition. You ain't looking to stay there, you looking to grow. And if you ain't growing there, you with the wrong, they not promoting you to go, you better get the hell away from there. Hell no. When they come holler at me, oh man, well, look, I'm trying to find a solution that's viable for you for something that I do. Now, a lot of people, well, I don't do this and do that. Look, man, I ain't ask you what you do and what you don't do. This is what I do. It produce. You need a solution. Let's walk. Walk with me. Let's do it. And you can go and got your business once you reach your point. But you gonna see how, like right now, I ain't finna go too far in depth into that, but things are moving accordingly. I'm loving it right now. It's gonna get better because now my mind is open to the knowledge and understanding how to do things the right way, where they can work for you. Let your money work for you. I'm tired of all that hard ass work. I'm ready to start letting my money work for me. And I know how to do it now. Just got to get them assets, baby. Get them assets. I remember this came out. Who was that? Kendrick Lamar. I'm an Israelite. Don't call me black anymore. Well, we been knew that. I'm glad they caught on, but if we ain't coming together to build, what's the purpose? That's all. That's what I'm just saying. I got $1 million worth of knowledge, but what are we building? You know, besides something online, a presence online. What about real life? People really live their life. We got to have something that, if it's representing the kingdom, you know it got to have a real presence. Can't just be nothing on no online. That's cool. Knowledge is cool, but then comes action. You deal with a concrete language, Hebrew. It calls you to an action. It's time to get busy. Real talk. They know. The whole world know now. Everywhere I go, I'm hearing about it. I'm like, look at you in Israel. Y'all just standing up. All this thing to Yahuwah. It's time to come together and put that work in and build. You ain't got to build no, try to take over nobody's country. We come together, assemble, and everything we do it the kingdom way. That's how we do that. Now I'm out of here. Y'all be strong enough with good courage, because I show there. Shalom.